Welcome back everyone to Let's Play Decisive Campaigns Barbarossa, episode number 20. Big 20. And you guys keep leaving very positive feedback, suggesting that I could try to get these out as quickly as possible. Man, I am gonna increase my effort on that. I really will. Just such a positive... This has been just a fun series. It's been fun for me, and then also fun, of course, when the audience is enthusiastic. Anyway, let's get to history and term results. Stats-wise, casualties and all that, it doesn't look that great for us. In fact, it was a very conservative turn last time, so we didn't expect a big jump, but unfortunately, we didn't want to see a big jump of total troops for the Soviets, but that's what happened. They went up by about 100,000. That's because we only inflicted 50,000 in casualties, but note that our losses were only 3,000. And, you know, if you were to say 50,000 to 3,000, those are odds that anybody would like to hear about. Unfortunately, it's probably because we were picking minor battles that we would decisively win. And we're going to have to be a little bit more aggressive at the cost of a worse troop ratio. I mean, KDA. So that's just how it's going to go. But anyway, I mean, I think that it'll be a lot different in the term to come. I mean, think about it. They already lost 10,000 just in the history, as we'll see. Just attacking me. Alright, so how are we doing this? We're moving forward. I'm trying to remember what they did first. Yeah, some reinforcements in the north, but I'm trying to figure out what's that. Oh yeah, maybe the first important thing to talk about is in the south by Karavolgrad and Krivirog, they're pulling back their forces along the center of this southern area, this 11th Army and 1st Panzer Group front. A lot of the northern forces here are going to pull back to the northeast, and looks like they may even try to garrison across the river, which, you know, would be smart. So you can see that pulling back there. In Army Group Center, it's like they almost heard what I said about trying to loop around and isolate the forces by 9th Army, because they seem to be putting a lot of more forces in defense of that area. It's like the computer has ears and they heard me say it. They're protecting against it. Not too much notable in Army Group North, really. And then, yeah, reshuffling of forces near Bryansk. The 29th motorized. It's close to being cut off, so I'm sure that we'll readjust our line accordingly. In the Finnish theater, there's a lot of cycling of units. They just go into that marsh and back out, and at the end of it, we'll see one unlucky unit is still stuck in the marsh. Yeah, again, this is more about the Krivirog shift north. And then, this is difficult for me to show. Let me actually do something here until I can... There we go. Let me go back a little bit now so we can see what was going on. Basically, it's a lot of movement of forces here. And it first of all shows us that there are a lot of forces to be moved south of 44th Army. And I would like to cut off this headquarters this turn. I actually don't remember where it finishes this turn, but probably behind some combat units. Yeah, but there's only one way across to the Crimea, so it's very difficult to think how we're going to be able to maneuver this. Because we do need to take the crossing. I mean, if they blow the bridge, it's gonna be a pain to get supplies across. Not surprisingly. Okay, yeah, I was gonna say a little bit of shifting in the center, but then this is the big attack against the 4th Army, which is very fatigued, and they're in need of a rest and a change in posture. But for now, we lost a lot of equipment, unfortunately, but at the cost of over 10,000 Soviet infantry, and these are not the conscripts, these are the good stuff. So it's about 5-1, a little bit better than 5-1 for us. The equipment loss is heavily against us, so you know, you might just call it 5-1 and leave it at that. Because they lost 30 T-26s, but that, you know, I think that's a favorable exchange compared to all the artillery and guns that I lost. And then immediately did another attack. So it's cool that we held along the front, but we really do need to rest 4th Army. And then this is the other big attack. So I mean, that was 10,000 troops. It's just crazy. Here's another 2,000. This is just one that went simply poorly for them. They attacked the Italian quote-unquote motorized. Yeah, 2,000 to 400, so it's again 5-to-1 odds. They also lost to KV1, which I'm always happy to see. Get those out as quickly as possible. Just get rid of them. And then I think that's pretty much all, except for some reinforcements on our end. Oh, here's the 44th Army. But I think they move even more, don't they? Oh, no, they don't. Okay, so we'll definitely want to cut them off and eliminate them, because we do get points for that. Anyway, we got some units appearing places, which is very good to see. I think, yeah, so this is in 18th Army in the north. Perfect, because that HQ was actually exposed, and we're resting this turn, but I think that the unit that comes in after you've declared the rest actually has movement, which is funny. And is that 9th Army? I forget the one over here that should almost be done with its rest now. And then the garrison for Odessa. So, that's the history. Like I said, I think that just exposes that there's a lot of interesting gameplay to be had in this turn. A lot of tactics we can try to figure out. Yeah, this unit does actually, looks like it does actually have movement, 70. 100% readiness too, it's coming in with 0 fatigue. It already is aligned on the next posture. That's right, we did that a long time ago. So I might move this guy over to the northwest, just kind of protect against one of their conscripts moving down while we stay in place. But I don't know yet. Well, I haven't done any of the planning yet. Oh yeah, 9th Army is active now. And the readiness is looking, oh, I wouldn't say great. We'll probably wait one more turn before we do anything super serious with them. Yeah, we'll have to make sure Guderian's forces aren't cut off here. We'll probably end up attacking these guys. I don't think we have a lot of readiness. Oh wow, 17 left on this guy. Wow, yeah, we really need to rest 4th Army. And then 3rd Romanian, I guess these guys are the ones who got some reinforcements. But they also have a lot of fatigue, if I'm not mistaken. Well, not a lot. So we'll truck them into place, and then that'll probably be the point where they can hold and rest, while 6th Army goes ahead and pushes forward with a consolidated effort. 17th Army is ready to go. Yeah, this is going to be a fun turn. Well, I expect the Finnish theater will be very quick here. Basically, all we want to do is attack this conscript, which was foolish enough to stay in the forest, in the swamp, all by itself. We're going to do that with the Karelian army. They are starting to get very fatigued. -9 here. There's actually one that's worse. Is it this one? This one also has the 20% bonus for the attached Jaeger brigade, which is pretty cool. Yeah, 13 fatigue on this one. But also notice that these guys, all the Finnish forces, have cold weather preparations at level 5, which is very good. Not surprisingly, but all of our forces, our other forces, have 0. Anyway, we'll do the attack with the actually pretty fatigued Karelian HQ. And I think I'll probably end up resting them this turn. And I'm not going to switch them off Blitzkrieg, because I actually want them to continue to attack. I just want them to get their fatigue back. So we'll do this attack. Hopefully this will just be absolutely wreck them. Which is basically what happened, yeah. 2,400 for nothing. Knocked out more of their AT. In fact, they're just 2,600 soldiers all by themselves now. But I don't think we'll move in, and I think we will be resting the Karelian group. We're so far away from the front on the northeastern side of things. And then in the south, we do have the southeast headquarters, which is already on the defensive posture. And I feel like these guys have moved less in general. I'm not sure if that's true. They fought a lot in the beginning too. So they'll get their rest probably after one more turn, or 2 more turns when the Karelian HQ comes back up. Well, I had 2 plans for Army Group North, at least 2 that had any merit. I think we're going to go with one of them, but the other one, which I'm not going to go with, was like a big surround. I wanted to punch through the 29th Rifle and the 17th Tank Divisions. And that would have given us a lassoed in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 divisions. But I'm going to go with a slightly less glorious, but probably safer option, which is I'm going to attack Ostrov directly. And that's probably only going to lasso 3 forces. So that's the plan, though. Basically, this is because it's a lot easier to achieve. I want to take Ostrov this turn. It kind of like forces me to use one of my motorized to do that. But but this went well, I think. So it was 800 to 2400. It's like 3 to 1, considering we're attacking into a city and also attacking over a river. I will take those odds. But we were also attacking a motorized, and actually this one fled back to the southeast, so it will also be pinned, which is, it's good news for us. So yeah, we'll move in here. I don't know if this unit will move in or not. They might be better off staying there for the moment. But they'll actually, you know, they'll probably be more effective if if they move in. I don't know what they'll actually do on their side besides protect the zone of control from the marsh, but that's not that big of a deal. Anyway, that was the main thing I wanted to get done, was just to take Ostrov. Now we have 4 divisions cut off, and I know that it's really not as glorious as 7. Neither of these is going to be, you know, the huge historical breaking point in our alternate universe. But I do think that taking these 4 out is going to be enough to give us significant numerical superiority moving forward into Luga, Novgorod area. It's a lot of forests. It's going to be tough sledding. Boy, is it. Yeah. But, I mean, that'll be helpful. Although in some ways we're really just breaking even, since I think that they have more conscripts deploying here. And from that perspective, it would be good if we maybe put more pressure on Leningrad from the north to force more divisions to be deployed up there. Or even from the eastern side. I don't know. Well, you know, it's something I need to think about a little bit more. But this is already good. Okay, let me just mentally take a break for a second by going over to the 93rd Infantry here. It's fun that these guys arrived during the rest period, because they're still mobile. Can move them even though everyone else is resting. And I think the best thing for us to do here is to move them west, because I want to eventually attack Talon. I think that there's this little elbow in the line, which is a good candidate for doing a multi-sided attack, 3-hex attack. So there's I think some good reasons for us to be moving that way. More targets of opportunity, including the city, which we definitely want to take. And Talon is not red, it is red. So if Talon is cut off, it will provide supplies for the people, so that's not an option. We'll probably end up deploying, I think somebody mentioned this in the last episode too, we'll probably end up deploying the siege artillery to Talon, although we can't yet, probably because we have it? We did have it last turn. Huh, that's a bummer. Anyway, we'll figure it out. Am I going to do another follow-up attack here? No, probably not, actually. So let me go ahead and move this 87. I want to move this one over here. And we have 2 units here, which means one can attack north, one can attack northwest. We have, well, it's going to be only 1 unit here in a moment, since the 4th Panzer is going to get moving. Don't really want that. I mean, they don't really have that far to go by truck. I might move them over east a little bit more. I don't really want to, but yeah, we'll do that, I think. I don't want them on the front lines, basically, because these marsh folks, I don't know what they'll do. I don't suspect that it'll be wise of them to try to punch out to the south, but they may do it. So let's move over here with this motorized. Just get them into position here. This force can move there, and infantry can move up here. Just trying to do this in a way where we don't have motorized or armored attacking into the marsh next turn. They can, on the road at least, but they fight it. It's just a horrendous penalty. So it would be better to get infantry into position, which is what we're doing. Yeah, another case here, probably needing to get infantry across. Let's get this one across to the north over there. So now we have the HQ, and by the way, the HQ might as well just move forward. And we have 2 infantry, 1 infantry. I just kind of hope that that doesn't get attacked. My poor HQ. And do we want this guy to move in? Technically, the only thing bad about moving him in is that if this unit jumps across the river, which I just don't imagine is going to happen, it would take over the zone of control for this hex. That's pretty minor. So yeah, I guess I am going to bank on these guys not doing anything. Gonna take my one of my units and actually move them here as well, just to make sure the HQ is ultra protected. Let me do it with the... Let me do it with... Well, who has worse fatigue is the question. This unit has no fatigue, so they're a good candidate. And this one has 5 fatigue, which is not that bad. So let's do it with this one. Yeah. Okay, good. So that should be fine. And that's probably all we need to do here. So it wasn't that much, but basically it was a turn, just one battle. But it's preparing us for the turns to come. Now we might want to also cut this unit off, which I think we can do. Yeah, we can, if we just take out this pesky armor. And pesky armor is what I love to take out. Let's get 2 involved here against this guy. Well, okay, we lost a Panzer II and a half-track. I thought we lost 2 tanks, but that was just a half-track. Okay, I was gonna be a little bit surprised by that, but that didn't work out too poorly. So we could do a follow-up attack in theory, but we don't want to. Well, I mean, it is 2 tanks, but at the same time, it's 2 tanks, and that one's at 100% readiness as well. Kind of looks like it's ready to go. We won't mess with it. Yeah, I basically just wanted to get us into a position where we can cut off more people. We've done that. We're in good shape in the southeast as well. Okay, good. So that's Army Group North. Well, in Army Group South, poor von Rundstedt and von Kleist have the problem that most of the forces around them, or most of the forces under their control, are resting, or recovering from resting, or in need of rest. It's been like a multiple week vacation for Army Group South. You know, had a lot of forces to move around too. Objective for this turn is let's get 3rd Romanian closer to the front. They're almost there. Just a little bit further to go. So they'll probably deploy onto the front next turn. Then we have 17th Army. Obviously 6th Army is in the process of resting, so we'll let them do their recovery stuff. 17th, some of these forces still are not at high readiness, but I suspect that will be eventually, that'll go away. So what we're going to try to do is get them as far forward as possible in order to replace any 1st Panzer Group divisions, like anyone that we can get out of the way. I think I might have messed that one up. I wanted somebody, oh good, with this person can go here to replace that one next turn. We can do that. Yeah, and I don't really need to move all these guys forward. Let's just move them here for now. So yeah, the rest of them, I mean, they're not going to be... Oh, that one's actually pretty good. We can get that one here, I guess. But just wanted to make sure that I could cover, and of course I did the planning so I knew, but just want to make sure we can move these guys forward. And we're just going to move 1st Panzer Group HQ right into Kravograd. And this force, I don't know where to go exactly. I guess I should take this mountain to make it a little bit less accessible to them. If I do that, unfortunately, I think it's going to, you know, deter the amount of places I can go. Oh, we can stay there, or we can move down to support here, and then that means this unit can move somewhere else. Probably that's what will end up happening. Okay, so as far as action goes, I think we actually do have some action in the south. 4th Romanian is ready. They're sick of it. They're sick of waiting here. So what they're going to do is they're going to push across. We can get all these guys in the fight. Still under the attack stack. That's just how weak 4th Romanian is. But go for it. Okay, we took three losses for only 8. Really bad ratio. But I didn't expect too much out of... I can't move. I want one of these guys to stay here. Probably the 40 will stay on this side of the river. Just because then we'll move them into the peninsula next turn. So this unit, where did it retreat to? I guess it retreated here? Yeah. Okay, well, we can... I don't think we have any reason to attack that, so we'll probably just build up several of these guys. That one can't, this one can, and then this one can come down here. So we have 2 in there, we have 3 in here, and then 1 here which can move over. And we're basically making a push towards, you know, eventually trying to take the city here. Okay, so, you know, I mean, this is... The one thing we can be thankful for is Nikolaev is not immediately adjacent to the Dnieper River. Gives us 1 hex. Getting across that is going to be murder, though. Okay, another thing is Tortuga's Big Ding Dong. 1st Panzer Group previously was over here. And let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4... Sorry, I was here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep. These units... Both of them were cut off from, so all 4 of these units were cut off from the command range, which is just my fault. I didn't, 1st Panzer Group could have moved 1 further last time. No reason why they couldn't have, and they just didn't. I just didn't properly plan everything. And that's, you know, it's brutal. This game is brutal. You know, you just miss one little thing. There's no, like, advisor to like, hint, oh, you're sure you don't want that HQ to move? No, I mean, you just end the turn and live with the mistakes. That's just how it goes. Luckily for us, we still have some units which are capable of... really, I mean, it's been a while since we've actually eliminated an army HQ from the Soviets. It's priority number 2, so we get a nice chunk of political points for it. What I'd like to do is move... let's say this unit. Let's move them here. Okay, I actually took the territory behind them. I was trying to figure out a way, so this unit can move all the way and do the attack, but which I was going to do, but now we can actually do the attack from the south, which is interesting. I mean, that just gives me some more options here. So maybe I'll just move this unit in and do the attack from the south. I mean, this unit can move in here, and we don't even need to use it on the attack. Because I want to attack this other unit too. So let me just do that. Move them there for now. They don't need to be part of the attack. We have 2 who can attack here. And this one can't attack. Ah. I guess nobody else can attack nearby. But that's fine. You know what? You're probably... let's just... I mean, it's 2 SS divisions. They're going up against HQ. No! No! I got the armored involved by accident. That's what I do for being too quick on the trigger. Mistakes were made. We'll move them both forward. This armor, I don't know what we'll do, because I was actually... I mean, they still have enough action points that they can still attack that way. Or we could just send them on a merry trip along the Dnieper River. Zaporozhye here is not a great crossing point since there's no bridge. It's all going to come down to this very messy situation at Dnepropetrovsk. Sorry. My tongue just doesn't want to work that way. Sorry about that. Anyway, well, how will we advance then? Yeah, so I guess part of the reason why I wanted to keep this unit, this motorized, free is I don't know what exactly I want to do as far as attacking. What I'd like to do is, this is a very weak tank division. I think we can punch through, little by little, we can just 3-side attack on this one, 3-side attack on this one, just kind of drive them back over the river. And once 6th Army gets up and running, and these guys should be just, I mean, they've been hanging around doing nothing for turns upon turns, even before we had them rest. So I do think most of these guys, except for this one apparently, this one was actually moving a lot more though. All of these should be pretty much in 100% readiness when they're back. Now, obviously they're only going to be on a sustained offensive posture, so not as much of a bonus as Blitzkrieg. But I think we're going to be able to make serious gains, especially like right here. I mean, well, we basically need to push back like this tank or something, and then to, you know, start doing 3-sided attacks. We start pushing these guys back, and that might be a bit bloody, but I mean, at some point we knew that this was going to get bloody, right? I mean, it couldn't just be a smooth sailing forever. Now, that all said, let's work the Hungarian motorized down to the south. Now, the 3rd motorized, the Italians, which, you know, quote-unquote motorized. I don't know about what the best thing for them to do is, because this Hungarian could move there, we could actually attack from here. So probably the best thing to do is do the attack like this. So we'll get the Cav, this one, and this one involved. So that means the infantry are not being touched for the moment. Oh, actually, we can get the infantry involved as well, since we have space. Space below the Cav. In fact, what about you? A little bit over, I think we'll prefer to avoid that. Plus, we'd like to break them first before we're getting the armor involved. Try to reduce armor losses. That was a very effective attack. 16 to 1. So 200 for their 3200. The readiness is going to be plummeting as well. So now a follow-up attack should be doable. Not for you, maybe. Okay, from you. And from you. Great. Now, we only want probably one of these units doing the follow-up attack, and maybe even the Hungarian forces here should not participate. Reason being, we want one to be able to contribute to the attack to the north. And that, since that is, well, maybe even two contributing to the attack on the north. Yeah, we only have 2 units that can help out with that, except for this one can come down south, since I can move this one. Okay, so let's do it this way. You help out with that attack. And we really... Okay, so who can attack? You can, and you cannot. I think that having the Cav follow up on this attack makes the most sense, but you know what? I want both of them to do it. Just to make sure we get... you know what? That wasn't that great. Really not that great. The only good thing about it is their readiness has plummeted a bit more. Yeah, the only way we get the 3 sides now is by bringing the Hungarian motorized up. We'll probably end up doing that then. Yeah, we'll do that. We'll just fold back a little bit on the line. Of course, the motorized can also help out, so we'll move this one forward. This guy, I don't know what he'll be doing yet. In fact, he probably will end up doing the attack as well. So let's see, what are we looking like here? We're almost at the attack stack limit. I think that's probably the best thing to do. 13th Panzer, I don't know what you'll end up doing. You're probably just going to limp up to the front this turn, not participate in any action. Okay, so we lost, it looks like a Panzer II, but this was a very good result. Yeah, we lost 1 Panzer II for their, 3,000 forces, 3,000 infantry, and lots of equipment, including a T-34. So that was very good. And I think that, I don't know, of course, but I'm guessing... educated guess that part of the reason for our success in that situation is just because we are really overwhelming their numbers. We do want to do a follow-up attack because I think it would behoove us to do so. Hungarian maybe stay there though, or maybe not. No, I mean honestly, it's best for infantry to be closer to the mountains. It's gonna be kind of a painful fight to push these guys out. But speaking of, what I'd like to do is do something a little bit strange here. I'm probably going to attack this unit and knock them back over the river, but then not actually enter this hex. And the reason for that is it'll give the mountain folks some place to go to get out of the mountain. I just don't really want to fight them there. So we'll give them an opportunity to leave. Just send them a note asking them to please vacate the premises. Okay, but this follow-up attack looks good. They're at 21 readiness. We have 2 very powerful panzer divisions who both took tank losses. That was pretty brutal. A 2 and a 4. Kind of have to say that, though, not losing a 3 is, like, good news. The Panzer IVs are also really brutal to lose. We're not going to be able to replace those either. But, I mean, at the same time, this is still the loss of 3,000. So, well, it's also 3,000 conscripts. But I think that the follow-up attack is worth it. I mean, it should be. Statistically, it's to your advantage, right? So we're just playing the statistical odds here. Okay, that said, what else to do this turn? Yeah, well, we're going to want to bring up 11th Army and maybe do another attack with them. Still have this motorized, which I didn't do an attack with yet. Oh, not F1, escape. There we go. Yeah, what are you guys going to want to do? Probably just get into position. Maybe even behind them. Of course, I want to make sure that the headquarters can support this kind of movement. You are, yeah, you can move forward, but I would like you to actually stay against them. Seems a little bit crazy, but I think I'm going to do it. I'm going to push them all the way back here. Yeah, I mean, this is what the panzer groups are for, right? Just pushing like that, pushing hard. These tanks a little bit closer to the front. Okay. You guys are almost done, and you know what? Yeah, perfect. We can come up here, and if they want to advance forward, it's to their own peril to do so. I think I'll move this one here, just to make sure that they can't really break out. And the worst thing they could do is do this, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, but it's 1, 2, 3. It's 4 directly, but I can always move one more over. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So 10 is Kravograd. That means it would be nice to not move further than this. So you know what? I won't. We'll stay here. Okay, let's move the rest of 17th Army now that everything in front of them has moved, so we know where... I mean, basically we know where the forces in front of them are going to go. Yeah, I think that looks good. That looks good. I don't think it really matters when you're moving west and east in this game, which is a square on the top hex. It means that you can move diagonally when you're going west or east, left or right. You can move diagonally up and down. So it means that you can really cover north-south ground when you're moving east at 0 cost. You just have a cone of movement that's all the same cost. So just get it moving east is the important thing. Okay, 11th Army. You might need to do one more attack, but you're probably the big candidate for being rested this turn. Which 4th Romanian might complain about, since they also want to rest. But you know what? You guys can wait a little bit longer. You didn't get involved as much as 11th Army has been. So 11th Army, the first Romanian, right? Armored is still possible for them to do an attack. Let's see if anybody else could assist. So nobody from this group. Definitely yes, people from this group. And yeah, definitely from this group, both of them. We'll probably end up getting both of them then. I do want to do this attack. These guys are at pretty low readiness though. 37, 27, my goodness. Alright, well you're going in then. You're probably not, because 27 is pretty darn low. And yeah, we don't have anybody else. I mean, this is yeah, wow, okay, it is what it is. We've got a lot of weak forces. We're slightly over the limit. I think it's still fine to do. So I'm going to do it. Didn't want to lose tanks, but that's what we lost. Was it a good attack? I don't think so. It didn't go quite as well as I was hoping. 2,000 losses, some of their AT, lower readiness, but the thing is they're going to buddy up with a bunch of other people now. It's going to be hard to follow up on that. Okay, let's see who can go where. You can go here. We can always shift forces further that way, so something to consider. I actually know where we want to go with some of these forces too, so move you here, sure. You here. If you can't move over, then just stay there. Yeah, I guess probably this is still the best bet. Maybe here? Yeah, this one can go everywhere. Let's move here, so just in case we want to do a follow-up attack there, we'll have, we can do it all with 11th Army. And maybe there, and 11th Army themselves has to move closer as well. Let's see, what's our range? I want to do this. I want to do this. That's good. That's perfect, right where we want to be. And you can also move, and I'll just move over there. Okay, 11th Army did some minor attacks. We just want to eliminate these conscripts. We know that there's a whole fresh batch for us to mow down, but in the meantime, while we're waiting for them to cross the river, we can work on these guys. And then, yeah, goal is get across. Once we have this, man, I will feel so good. Once we have this bridge crossing secured, ugh, that would be fantastic, but It didn't happen yet. So that's Army Group South. What's really exciting to me about Army Group Center, this is the reason why I was getting excited about this turn, is there's so much empty space in front of the Guderian's forces, 2nd Panzer Group. Like, we don't see any forces between us, this one, aside, between us and Kursk, which is crazy. A lot of potential ground we could take. Ground itself is meaningless, but bridging the gap towards Kursk, we might be able to draw some forces. I just don't understand. I don't understand anything for sure, but my speculation as far as like what the Soviets are doing is they seem to be more, it makes sense, I guess. They're more focused on my push to Moscow. They seem to be completely unconcerned about my taking like Kursk or Orel. Anyway, that's the first area we're going to push them. So, okay, we see somebody down here. I'm guessing that's an HQ, but we'll see. And we'll just do an attack against this unit with all of our folks, except for the HQ itself. And that went very well. So, 8,000 troops down. Actually, we didn't lose a single unit, which that's better than I was expecting. Another thing we really got to do is, before we know how aggressive we can be, we should see if we're able to finally eliminate this little area. And we don't want to include the weaker units. 33 and then 37. Yeah, because we kind of hope that they might be useful with further moving. I mean, the low readiness, like 37, it's hard to. They would still be helpful, but I don't know how much. So we'll do it with just the 4. And we took, this is pretty much exactly what I predicted. I was guessing 400 to 600 losses in my head. What I didn't show, and I should have, is that they started at low readiness, 38. Typically we see them starting at around 60 to 80. So this is a bit lower. Their entrenchment was actually pretty high, 96, but their supply, I really didn't go through it, but you'll just have to take my word for it. The supply of these units was at 0, 2, and 3. And that's out of 100. So they were completely cut off, and basically that is what resulted in their swift elimination at very low casualties. And that basically answers why somebody asked last video in the YouTube comment sections that why do you sometimes leave forces? It's, without eliminating the pocket, your forces have to babysit this pocket. So it's an opportunity cost. But in this case, I think it's very much worth it. We're able to eliminate them with much less casualties on our own end. And especially with 4th Army, they are so depleted. They are in desperate need of a rest. I'm half considering just resting them and leaving them on Blitzkrieg because they're doing great things on the offensive. But that's something I'll have to think about probably after this, after the army group is finished. In the meantime, we have all these forces that are free to do what? I don't know exactly. I know the Cav should have the legs to get yes. Perfect. So this is what I'm doing. I'm going to go a little bit crazy here. I'm going to basically push as far south and east as I can. Within limits, because what we should be noting is where do we have the means of putting our forces. Okay, so that one's there. This one can probably go up. I think that's what they'll end up doing. This one can go here. I do want them to move all the way through then. Oh, shit, I messed that up. That was the wrong unit. Well, that's fine. I'll just move this one south then instead. I wanted the guy to get into the forest, but I can always do that with the infantry here instead. Put extra pressure on. I may have to do that now. I was originally going to move this infantry towards the HQ. Which, again, we don't really know exactly it's an HQ. I guess I will move this over. Okay, it's not an HQ. It's motorized. Interesting. So this is the 21st HQ, and that's the same as this. Well, somebody's in the wrong zone. I don't know who, but... and hopefully they're sucking up the AI's precious political points. Although I'm not sure that the AI is penalized as such. Alright, well, we're going to want to move these units out, so let's do that. What I think I'm going to do is move this unit... No, this unit forward, do the attack. It's just a single tank, just to get rid of it. So we move here for free, and we do have the ability to move back out of that one, because this is a little bit exposed. We probably don't need to stay in that hex. And this unit can get all the way over here too. Very good. Okay, so we kind of know where our line is going to form. This unit can just stay exactly where it is, since it will be part of the line exactly where it is. You can move north here. That's probably where you will end up moving. And you can actually move here to help with the defense there. Oh, that's very good. Yeah, that's very good. You might even be needed back? I'm not sure how overextended we're going to want to get. Alright, in the meantime though, we know that all of these units are going to be free to move as far as we really want them to. This one can get over here, no problem. Yeah, that's interesting. So we already can move to there. Well, let's dive over to the other units who... Wow. We can really take some good ground here. I want some pressure on this motorized so they can't just... Where can you go? Man, you can go all the way down there. And you can waltz into Kursk. That's... I mean, I am 90% sure that both Orel and Kursk are occupied. It's pretty remarkable that we could even do that, though. And another thing is, what can our HQ reasonably support? So we can move here, no problem. We can move one more, and then the cav at that point is going to start to be cut off. I might even move off the road, that won't be a big problem. So let's just do this. We're going to want to put pressure on this motorized, so let's do that. This infantry, we could pull back over here, but I'd rather put pressure, like move to put more pressure on the motorized. I'm going to move down south like this, though, so that we continue to hold zone of control on this hex. And yeah, we have zone of control on everything. I don't know what this unit... Hopefully this unit just retreats. They're in a bad way now, I guess. So we could attack them. I don't want to do this attack, but that's what we might be gearing up for in the near future. This tank can just go crazy. The thing which is most interesting to me is that this one can get all the way down here. So 85, it is 105. Why don't we do this? I'm going to do this. Okay, now in theory we could actually move a little bit further. I highly doubt that's going to be effective though, because Kursk is almost surely occupied and so is Orel. I mean, we had the same thoughts about Kiev, but I can't get into Kursk anyway. And I can find out if Orel's defended just by shifting over one. Probably that's sufficient to show if it is. I definitely want these tanks out of here. Let's shift them over. Okay, yeah, that reveals what we wanted to reveal, that is definitely occupied. Good to know. So we're probably going to want to attack this motorized, but this looks good, honestly, taking that extra territory. Feels good. You can get all the way over here. I think that's what I want to do. So let's move you here. You can also move there for now. I know that we had one unit that could move all the way over, but we'll probably just move here with both of them. Okay, so we're basically deciding where our line is going to be. We have two here, we have two here, and we only have one. This is the weak point that I was mentioning earlier. Hey, they're up to 100%, 100 entrenchment, and 87% readiness. I bet that's as high as they can go. Yeah, 13 fatigue means they can't go any higher than that. But we do need to rest 4th Army as well. So the problem is that they just have so many forces. There's such a density of Soviet troops against 4th Army, very close to Orsha. There's 5 in this hex, there's 7 in that hex, 2, 3, and then north of the river we have 3, 5, 4, and 3. That is a lot of units that we have to contend with. So that's what leaves me a little bit reluctant to push too far with 4th Army. Now that said, I think that to give our troops a slightly better bonus, I think I will move. This will only help that unit, and that unit probably won't be attacked. Oh, I need to, yeah, and that unit to the south. Okay, so I'll just probably stay where I am. Okay, is that all I want to do? I mean, we went on some rampage of a movement. We definitely need to control this hex right here. Motorized, what does that want to do? We're actually okay with these two units just defending that. The SS can probably hold their own there. We do need to move one more forward in order to keep this guy in range, and we can do that on the road because this guy's only 4 away. So we can just do this movement right here. Okay. Wow. Dicey. Crazy. But it all worked out. This armor, well, we would rather not have them defending in the city, I mean in the forest, but I think that's honestly the best spot for them right now. Just move here. We have 2 infantry defending this hex. That's probably sufficient, especially because they actually have pretty weak forces. We may end up attacking into this group, and certainly this one cab by itself could be attacked into. And what we might see, what we might be looking at here is the makings of another big pocket if we can just start rolling up just west of Briansk. We don't even need to take Briansk as part of this. We could just leave them there and know that they're going to hold there and kind of maybe fold back up towards Smolensk. I don't know what will happen. Again, it's always about kind of taking what the AI gives you, what the Soviets give you. But otherwise, we look pretty good. We pushed into a lot of that. I mean, this was all not our territory. Look at all these 5s. So, good start there. Now, as far as what we want to do in the north, I think what we want to do is give me a second to think. Okay, well, the most important thing is make some kind of progress. We have a few targets of opportunity we'll try to get to. We'll start with 9th Army. They are fresh off their rest, but unfortunately not all their units are fully up to readiness. You can see 40 over here, 53, so we have another 43. Things aren't looking as good as I was hoping. We'll just use probably the best, highest readiness individuals in this attack. Which means all of these guys, believe it or not. And that gives us a nice, huge firepower. I mean, we have almost 400 going against 67. 40% concentric bonus. This should be good. Maybe lost a little bit more than I even expected us to, but that was still a good exchange. 600 for 3,400, almost 6 to 1. Lots of equipment loss. They're down to below 20 readiness, which is good. I was thinking about maybe a follow-up attack even. But that's probably not going to happen. I don't know. We'll see. So let's move in the people who did the attack. And we have 2 units who didn't do any attacks. So it's possible one of these guys should stay here. Let's move the 39 in. Can we do a follow-up attack with anyone? You could. So let's move you in then. And then the highest remaining, the 48 will stay. So the 39 goes. And then we move this unit here. So in theory, we could do a follow-up attack. These guys are actually both weak too. But who could be involved? 2 individuals. But one of them is the motorized across the way. Now, we obviously aren't going to be doing the attack with the 3rd motorized. And technically, although this turn is done, there's no reason why the 3rd motorized would move. You know, we can actually kind of advance things a little bit by moving this unit to the north. I mean, there's no reason for them not to do that. And we have the fuel to do it, so we're just kind of supplementing Army Group North's movements. I don't really believe that this is the right option, so we'll wait. We'll take a turn on that. We have 3 there and 1 there. We have 2 there. Now we have... Well, potentially we could have 3 there. So let me move this guy to the north. Let's see, who are we doing here? I want these units to move forward. We're beginning our pressure, but I think I want this unit in the north one instead. Okay, good. And actually, I misplayed that. I should have moved that unit to the south, and the one that was already ready to move north should have moved north. But that's okay. That's a really minor detail, not a big deal. Okay, so that's 9th Army. They've woken up from their rest, and they're getting right back into work. We have a small situation. I mean, it's the same situation that 4th Army has in the south, but they have extraordinary numbers, lots of dense troop formations just to the east of Orsha here. So we got to be a little bit careful about that. I also want 3rd Panzer Group to be involved more to the north now and not... This is too dense of a force for us to really do anything about it for the moment. So we're going to continue with the plan, which we already talked about, to move to the north. And even attacking from 3 sides on this unit, I mean, I don't think it'll be good for us to do that. So what are we going to look for? We're going to look for other targets of opportunity. I think that this is a good one. We can get some good numbers against that. We have infantry and motorized. And I also want this, one of these two. Maybe this unit can move out. We only need to defend with one, considering it's across a river into a city with, high entrenchment. Highly doubt we need any more than one defending there. Start getting some more troops ready to move. And this one's more vulnerable. Let's see, who do we want to attack here? I guess one armor wouldn't be bad. What do we have already, though? We're almost at the attack stack limit. And this unit is at 100% readiness, so it'd be better to attack this unit first and then two-side attack against that, I think. Although I would like to be doing this with more of my infantry. Where the hell is my infantry? Okay, wait. You are small enough that let's see what your contribution would be. Yeah, you're still over the attack stack. I'm gonna do that though. Okay, this was actually good. I think this went well. We lost 400 normal, 400 heavies, and a half track for 3,200. So, it was 8 to 32, 4 to 1. Plus the equipment losses, including some tanks. And the readiness dropped, to 18. That was good. I'm happy with that one. We're not really going to have a chance to follow up on that, because they crossed the river. Okay, I mean, I spoke too soon. In theory, we could. And another thing we could do is maybe attack that unit. You can see this is the direction we're trying to go, though. This is the plan I mentioned last time, and yeah, it really does look like it's the best thing to do, is to try to roll over these guys. I don't think having infantry or tanks cross the river there is smart, but we might be able to use our high combat strength, high readiness, motorized in a double attack. You can attack, you can attack. Armor crossing river, not good, I think. Let's just do this. So these are very weak units. This one's actually not so weak. They have one T-34. Huh, they don't... For a tank division, they don't really have many tanks. Oh, never mind, there's the... But they aren't good on the defense. I just feel like I'm going to go for this. It might be a little reckless, but I would like to have that beachhead, so to speak, that bridge over the river. It's not a real bridge, but that's just that taking territory on the other side that we can attack from. So I'm going to do this. Very good result. So we only lost 400, and they lost 2,600. Okay, yeah, that went well. I don't know why. I felt like that was the right thing to do. So what I want to do is actually throw some tank over there as well. It's going to be up to 2nd Army, the new 2nd Army, to hold this area. I'm not planning to leave any 3rd Panzer Group on this Smolensk-Orsha front. They're all moving north now. But it would be nice to get some tanks across the river. How about you? And nobody else is here? Okay, you it is. So good, now I don't know if they'll have supplies. Obviously they're across the river and our panzer group can't connect, but if they don't, they should have enough supplies to be without supply for one turn. And beyond that, we're definitely going to reconnect with them next turn. Now you can see we have the makings of a nice surround on these units. 5. We could even do the attack here, although there is 1 infantry, so it'd be better for us to wait. What, it'd be 3 sides? Yeah, it'd only be with 3 units. I don't think that this is worth it. We'll wait 1 more turn for that. And we push these guys back, so that'll probably be a good follow-up attack next turn, even though it is crossing the river. Nobody's available for that attack anyway. So let's get you up to here. Probably that's the best place for you. And then you maybe... Oh, no, so we have this infantry, which I want to move up there. They're best at crossing that river anyway. And we'll move you over here as just it's really a defensive mechanism more than anything. And that's probably what we want to do for this turn then. I don't think there's much more to do. Let me review and get back. It was looking good, so let's just go ahead and roll to the decisions. Captured trucks in Army Group North. I think we're going to leave half as usual. Looks like Von Lieb is pleased. Got 18 new trucks. That's great. Prisoner of war treatment. Well, look it. We got a protest here, unfortunately. I think this is the only way to... I'm not even sure. There is partisans, though. And you can read this if you'd like, but... I'm not even sure which one helps, but we're going to go ahead and take this because it's the right thing to do. Person levels have gone up a fair amount, unfortunately. Brauschitz is happy. Yodel, we don't really care about him anyway. So, just stuff it. Yeah, you know what? Keitel and Goebbels not going to be ecstatic about this winter thing. We're still roll the dice on them, but I don't expect that this will succeed. Failure number 1. And failure number 2. But at least we have a heroic deed we can do, which costs us some amount. This is for Guderian's forces, 18th Panzer Division. Take it. Offensive bonus equals good. And we finally have the opportunity to change to Jakobstad, which is great. That's going to be a lot closer to the action. Thanks to Nellis, who mentioned that this is on a 3-turn rotation. It just rotates Army Group North, Center, South, then back to North, which is why Jakobstad didn't come up. But we don't want to move any of the other FSBs, so we'll just leave them where they are. And that, I think... Oh yeah, we have to play some cards. Well, I didn't budget enough time in, so this will be the last thing we do. We won't be able to end a turn, but let's just put the cards in so we're absolutely ready to go next time. We're gonna do... Artillery is going to transfer from 4th Army to 9th Army in center. 9th Army. And I may not even... I'm not going to rest 4th Army this turn. I'll... Actually... Yeah, because I may want to follow up in the south. But they're probably going to be rested, but kept on their blitzkrieg posture. No changes in the north. We'll keep the artillery with 18th Army just for... Or 16th Army, I should say, for just one more turn. And then they'll rest next turn, which means that it'll be transferred. And then lastly, we're going to transfer artillery from 11th Army to 6th Army in the south. Just look for 6th Army if I can find it. And on top of that, we're going to rest 11th Army. Like I said, we don't have enough time to actually finish the turn processing this turn. So I guess I'll have time to review before the absolute clicking of the end turn button next episode. Until then, Merry Christmas to those watching contemporaneously. It's the holiday season, so hopefully I'll be able to get out this video within a week, another one. And I'm planning to do a little special series. Well, yeah, if you're interested in watching other channel stuff, you can look for that. Otherwise, thanks for watching. Stay safe, happy holidays, and take care.